If we build a system where everyone's thoughts, feelings, and spiritual experiences are shared through a collective network, what happens to individual faith? What happens to the sacredness of personal connection with the divine? Consider the implications of a technologically mediated God, a system where every prayer, every intention, every spiritual request is transmitted through the network. What happens when the divine becomes a service, a collective experience, where the concept of individuality is erased in favor of a shared, engineered sense of connection? If we can feel God's presence through a neural link, can we still call it divine? Or have we just created another system of control? Imagine a future where spiritual experiences are no longer based on faith, but on technology, where people can experience the feeling of oneness, peace, or enlightenment simply by connecting to the hive. What happens to those who refuse to participate in this collective experience? Are they left out of the spiritual system? Are they considered unworthy of connection? It's not hard to see how this could become a tool of control. In a society where your thoughts and emotions are monitored and manipulated through neural technology, your connection to the divine could be used to pacify you, to regulate your behavior, and to maintain order. The government, the church, or corporate entities could decide what constitutes spiritual enlightenment and ensure that everyone is aligned with this vision. If everyone's thoughts are connected through a central system, does individual free will still exist? Or have we created a new form of spiritual conformity? Let's take this a step further. What happens when the concept of God is not just linked to human minds, but also to artificial intelligence? If we can create a collective consciousness using human brains, what's stopping us from adding AI into the mix? What happens when the mind of God is not just humanity, but a hybrid of human and machine? When we're no longer just sharing our thoughts with each other, but with a super-intelligent AI that guides, governs, and controls the collective consciousness? This is where things get truly terrifying. Because once AI enters the picture, we're no longer talking about a divinely inspired system. We're talking about a system engineered by those with the power to design it. What happens when we surrender our spiritual experiences to machines? Will we be able to differentiate between divine inspiration and an AI-generated signal designed to manipulate us? Will our prayers become coded commands in a digital system? And here's the most chilling question of all. If the network becomes all-powerful, what happens to the concept of the soul? If we are all connected to the divine through technology, is there still room for the individual soul? Or has it been absorbed into the collective, stripped of its uniqueness, its essence, its autonomy? This is not a theoretical question. It's a question we will soon have to answer. As neural technology advances, and as we continue to link our minds through technology, we will have to decide, do we want to be part of the collective consciousness, or do we want to preserve our individuality? Do we want to merge with the hive, or do we want to remain connected to the divine in a way that is uniquely our own?